All right, good evening and welcome inside the hangar at Dixie High School, home of the Dixie Flyers, the number one team in Region 9 and the number 4 team in the RPI. They're taking on the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, number 2 team in region, but the I'm getting confused here. Number 2 team in region, number 1 team in the RPI. This is going to be a heck of a matchup. Thanks for being with us on CEC TV, Sports Radio 977.com, and ESPN 97.7. Andy Thompson, Rustin Burnside here to give you the Interior Design Center pregame show. We break down all of the action leading up to the game, coaches' comments, stats, key players, and more. Appreciate the Interior Design Center. Check out their Instagram and Facebook for design ideas, or check out their website, interiordesignCenter.com. Well, the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs coming off one of the most exciting weeks of any team so far this year, getting that win against Desert Hills last Wednesday in buzzer-beating fashion, won again on Friday, and they have a chance to surprise some people once again. Even though they've been the number 1 overall in the RPI, they still are underestimated in some of these big matchups against Desert Hills and now against Dixie. Will they be able to shock Region 9 again and come in here and get the win against the Flyers? We'll have to wait and see. Rustin Burnside, Andy Thompson. Burnsy, what are your initial thoughts about this matchup, Flyers versus the Mustangs?
Well, I'll tell you, this has been one of the more fun years in Region 9 that we've had for a little while, and every year seems unique. Every year feels special, and when you take away the circumstances surrounding this year is even special just based on play and statistics and standings alone. We talk about it week by week, but there are 5 teams who seem like they can win this region. You go down the list: Crimson Cliffs, Dixie, Desert Hill, Snow Canyon, Cedar. And now we're far enough into region play that teams are starting to be mathematically eliminated, right? And we're realizing we're probably more so 3 teams who can win Region 9, barring any type of hot streak from Snow Canyon or Cedar. We're looking at Desert Hills, Crimson, and Dixie, and now we got 2 of those teams going at it tonight against each other. This is a unique matchup. Other games have had significance earlier on in region play, but now that we're deeper into the season, this one feels more important, more than any other game we've covered. So when we talk about circling it on your calendar, this one has a whole lot of meaning behind it.
You're watching the pictures courtesy of our friends and broadcast partners at CEC TV, and a very special treat for Region 9 fans tonight. The cameras being aimed at the court by Dixie High School students. How about that? They're doing a great job right now. We're watching the layup lines, or as I like to call them, the missed dunk lines in pregame. All right, Burnsy, let's get our keys to the game brought to you by Camping World. Check them out at campingworldstgeorge.com, or 1500 Hilton Drive. Let's start with the away team. They're the underdogs, Crimson Cliffs, even though they're the number 1 seed. What do they got to do to get the win against the Flyers tonight?
It's crazy to look at a team that's 16-2, 8-2 in region play and say they're the underdogs, but it really shows you how well Dixie has played throughout the year. So for the Mustangs to come in and avenge their loss they had a handful of weeks ago, a game that was a 1-point game at the end of the third quarter, there's a couple things they're going to have to do. First of all, you got to recognize as a defense, as this Mustang defense, which, by the way, Crimson Cliffs in region play has given up about 60.6 points per game, which is pretty solid. It's not top-notch. It ain't bottom of the barrel by any means. So for this Mustang squad, you have to recognize what pace Dixie is setting. They play one of 2 ways from what I've been able to gather. And correct me if I'm wrong here, AT, but basically if you miss and they get a rebound in a favorable position, they're pushing.
Yes.
They're down the floor immediately going for the layup. Bennett, Cox, Finlinson, whoever it is, they're quick. If your defense gets back and gets set, then all of a sudden they're slowing things up. They're backing back up to about the volleyball line or extended, and they're waiting and they'll drive and they'll kick, and they'll drive and they'll kick,
yes,
and they'll back things out until they find the ideal shot. So they play either really, really fast or really, really slow. So for your defense, communication is going to be massive. What are they doing? What style are they rolling with? What's the tempo that the Flyers have set? Because they seem to play with 50 different tempos throughout the night. So communication on the defensive end is going to be absolutely massive, preventing any mismatches, preventing any easy cuts or easy backside passes to the rim. That's the type of team Dixie is. So for Crimson Cliffs, key number one, be very much aware of the tempo they're setting.
It's amazing how effective Dixie is without even dribbling the ball like you described. Getting a rebound, outlet pass, another pass, layup, and they will slice and dice you, especially here at home. Nobody better than Ethan Bennett, I would say, in the region at converting on fast break buckets. All right, let's go to the home team, Burns. Dixie does a lot of things well. What are some things they got to do extra well tonight against Crimson Cliffs?
Well, key number one for the Flyers, it's not an exciting key. It's not something that you can really look at and break down and say this is how we're going to do it. It's something that kind of has to come to you. But for the Flyers tonight, I think you got to line them up. You got to get to the free throw line, right? And people are like, the free throw line, like that's boring. Dixie goes to the free throw line about 11 times per game. That's what we're looking at. So for your Region 9 leading team, rarely are they at the stripe. When they beat Crimson Cliffs in what was a very close game, they attempted 24 free throws and made 17 of them. 17 additional points in a tight game is an absolute difference maker. So if this one's going to be close, Dixie's going to have to get to the line more than their season average. That means more penetration, maybe more inside looks to guys like Alessio DeHart and let him go to work against Felder or Eaton or whatever it may be. So key number one for the Flyers, get to the free throw line. Key number two for Dixie in particular, you got to share the basketball. And what I mean by this is Dixie has 3 players who average more than 3 assists. All right, so which for high school, that's very good. That's very impressive. And the thing that makes this Flyer team so hard to beat is you look at Isaac Finlinson, and if you're just looking at the stat sheet, you'd be like, oh, man, Isaac Finlinson, we shut him down. We're okay. He averages almost 21 points a game.
Yeah.
That guy's a monster. But if you go through and click on each Dixie game individually, there are nights where Ethan Bennett's your leading scorer, nights where Jeffrey Cox is your leading scorer, nights where Carson Forsey scores more than on average. And that's because the Flyers aren't a one-man band. They don't care who gets the points. They just care that they get points. So if you're the Dixie tonight, you need to continue that mindset. Share the basketball. Find the open man. There will always be a matchup that's more favorable than others. So that's key number 2 for Dixie.
Those are your Camping World keys to the game. Get your 2021 Camping World adventures started at Camping World, 1500 Hilton Drive or campingworldstgeorge.com.
And one last thing I want to add, AT, as we wrap up our Camping World keys of the game. This is going to be, I like looking at the 3-ball. And with the way basketball's evolved recently, the 3-point shot has become an essential part of being a winning basketball team. Maybe not so much in the high school level as the collegiate and pro, but it's a big, big deal. I just want to point out Dixie this year as a team, as an entire unit, the whole Flyers varsity team has made 87 threes. Trey Rockhill and Hudson Haza, the Mustangs together, have made 108 alone. So we're going to see the Mustangs playing one style of basketball, and we're going to see Dixie playing the other style of basketball. So very excited to see those two differing styles, differing approaches, and how they go at it tonight.
What do you think about the matchup down low? I know a guy you think very highly of, the young sophomore for Crimson Cliffs, Brock Felder, against the front court of Dixie. Guys like Jeff Cox and Alessio DeHart. Does Crimson have an advantage down there tonight?
I love Brock Felder. I think he has been an absolute phenomenal, not addition to this team, but somebody who's contributed in ways that none of us really anticipated, except for maybe Brock himself. And when you look at what Felder brings to this squad, it's pretty apparent. He brings toughness. It's rebounding. It's scoring, almost 10 points a game, almost 5 rebounds a game. And he's so big and physical on the block. For example, he kept Lyman Simmons in check for the most part when they took down Snow Canyon. He's just a big, strong-bodied type of player. And tonight against Alessio DeHart and Keem Webb, 2 bigs who are also big and physical in their own right, I think Crimson Cliffs has a little bit more of an offensive advantage there. And if you continue to look at the big guys, even someone like Jordan Eaton and his 8 points a game, he's able to spread the floor with his mid-range jumper. That's his favorite shot, no doubt. So whether it's Felder or Eaton, I think Crimson Cliffs can use that to their advantage. Dixie has bigs, shot blocking, shot altering bigs, but I don't think they have a big who can score like a Brock Felder can.
Where is Isaac Finlinson as we see him taking some warm-up threes in your mind as the Region 9 in the Region 9 MVP race? Because I know right now it's pretty competitive with, Trey Rockhill has had a great couple of weeks. Mason Landick leads the league in scoring, but they've lost some games. Finlinson is probably, in my mind, still in the, catbird seat for winning that award for the defending champs, but it is close.
And you can throw in a name like Dallin Grant. There's so many different players here that have been so influential in Region 9 and for their teams. Lyman Simmons, 100%. I think for Finlinson, if he was not to win the award, it would be understanding because there's so many who deserve it. But here in Isaac's case, this is why I feel that's okay, because Isaac is an absolute basketball player, right? He can score 40 a night if he wants to score 40 a night. Isaac sacrifices a lot of his own personal statistics for wins, and that's really what matters in the grand scheme of things. If they win another state championship, I don't know if he'll be too concerned about any MVP award, but if they win another state championship, he should probably get that award in the first place. So Finlinson, his greatness really lies in his ability to let others succeed as he succeeds himself, which is a unique habit to have as a high school basketball player. So like you said, now he sits number one, well deserving of it. But if he doesn't win it, I don't think he's going to care much because he's a team-oriented guy. These other players, Trey Rockhill, Mason Landick, I'm not saying they're not, but Finlinson does sacrifice quite a bit in terms of just getting simple basketball wins in favor of actual statistics.
Enter Sandman Roars here in the hangar as Casey Winters and the coaching staff for Crimson Cliffs enters the hangar, and we're about 3 minutes away. Let's take a 3-minute break, and we'll come back, and then, we'll give you the Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups from the hangar. Rustin Burnside, Andy Thompson, Mike Bear, the athletic director for Dixie, does such a tremendous job. Larry Bergeson's in the house, the superintendent for Washington County. The Stars are out tonight for this one in a socially distanced hangar. Everybody with their masks on, and we're excited to go. Let's do a 2-minute break. 2-minute break. Back with more pregame show brought to you by Interior Design Center right after this.
There's a rush coming.
Let's rush best 9 plays from last week in Region 9. Number 1 better be good.
One-handed grab, and Luke Wright is going to score a touchdown on one of the better grabs you'll ever see in high school football.
Lawrence, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit there?
This is Henry Bouchard, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I never found a customer base more in need of fine American-made sucking power than I found up and down the Wasatch Front in the mid-1980s.
There's one thing coaches love, it's media guys telling them how good or bad their team is.
My pick for the 4A state championship this year when it comes to football is the Stansbury Stallions.
Give me a break. This isn't a contest about who can shovel the most corn silage. I like Pine View.
Run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Shopping sprees, sip my ties and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Welcome back to the hangar. We're getting ready to go here. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and sing the national anthem. Great timing. AT down to a button here. Let's take another 2-minute break. I apologize for the anthem, and we'll be back with the Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups. 2-minute break as we get prepared here for the young lady who will be belting it out. Looks like they might do a duo tonight, so we're in for a treat here at Dixie High School as we put our hands over our hearts. 2-minute break for the national anthem right after this.
Radio Dixie 91.3. Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Calendris. You'll be on the SWAT team, the SWAT team. That's a fantastic situation. I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not as they seem.
Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts so stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating, funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle, be a hero in the strife.
Lives of great men all remind us that our lives can be sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate. Still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
Welcome back. Dixie High School, Flyers, Mustangs. We're about ready to tip off. Time now for our Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups. Hit it to the sky at the beautiful Sky Mountain Golf Course in Hurricane. Schedule a tee time at 435-635-7888. It's pitch black in the hangar. They do such a good job to get their kids amped up and their student section playing a little pregame video. Starting lineup for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Trey Rockhill wearing number 1 tonight, as always, for the Mustangs. How about Hudson Haas, number 3, three-point specialist. Cole Sampson playing the wing. And the big fellas, Jordan Eaton, Brock Felder, the dynamic duo. Both underclassmen have a bright, bright future in that front court, Bernsey. We talk a lot about the terrific trio of Hawes, Sampson, and Rockhill, but how about these two youngsters heading up the forward position?
It's hard to look at the Mustangs starting lineup and pinpoint a weakness. There doesn't seem to be one. You got rebounding, you got scoring, you got athleticism on the wing. It's really a testament to their record this year and how well they've played. So we talk about those who score the basketball in bunches. Felder at 10 points a game, Eaton right around 7 points a game. You know, maybe they don't get the recognition they deserve, but they belong on the floor. They're crucial to this defensive identity for Crimson Cliffs, as well as ultimately their ability to rebound the basketball and to keep other bigs off the glass.
Rustin Burnside, Andy Thompson, and now it's time for the Dixie Flyers starting lineup. And Devin Dixon is going to call him onto the floor. I was going to kick it here in Double D with his Ric Flair voice, calling out Carson Forsey, number 0. He'll be running point guard, three-point specialist. Man, he's gotten a lot better from one year to the next. Number 4, Isaac Finlinson, the do-it-all guy, and Dixie State-bound guard for Coach Roberts.
And Finlinson's such a fantastic athlete. We talk about his ability to score, and his three-point numbers have actually been down a little bit this year, but he's really found other ways to attack the rim, and then what he does on the defensive end cannot be mistaken.
Ethan Bennett, number 5. We were talking about the importance of stopping the fast break if you're Crimson Cliffs. Ethan Bennett, one of the best in probably the state at getting out on the run. Jeff Cox and Alessio DeHart coming on in for the front court. Those are your Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups. Hit it to the sky at the beautiful Sky Mountain Golf Course. Appreciate our broadcast partner, CEC TV, and the best and the brightest from Dixie High School helping us shoot the pictures tonight. Doing a tremendous job. You're watching on sportsradio977.com, CEC TV, or listening on ESPN 97.7. Here we go. Brock Felder, Isaac Finlinson on the Circle D. Get ready to tip things off as the light ascends back up into the rafters. Tip won by Felder, but DeHart almost gets his hands on it instead. Tipped away back into the Mustangs' hands. Here comes Trey Rockhill. He goes up against Forsey. Handoff pass to Hudson Hawes, one of our Star Watch players of the night for the Mustangs. Nice little move by Rockhill going up against Bennett. He's stopped by DeHart. Kicks it back out to Eaton. Eaton over to Sampson. He'll drive baseline. Goes underneath the backboard. Gets it to Hudson Haas for an open baseline 3. Misses it by a mile. Rebounded by Jeff Cox.
I'll tell you what, if you don't think these players aren't nervous, that shot's a prime example of maybe the nerves going on here.
Little pick and roll. Finlinson takes it all the way to the hoop and scoops it off the glass for 2.
That's a guy who's not nervous. He's been through a lot. State championship winner.
Sampson gets it to Haas, guarded by Finlinson. Back to Sampson. He'll hoist. He'll miss a little long. Rebounded again by Cox, and they're going to push. Here's Bennett. Bounce pass tipped away by Sampson into the hands of Finlinson. Baseline 3 up. Misses it short. Ball tipped up. Rebounded by Eaton. And here comes Trey Rockhill. 2-0 Flyers lead early here in the first quarter. Rockhill gets a screen.
Both these teams very good at rebounding the basketball. Crimson Cliffs at 27. Dixie right around 31.
Haas gets it to Eaton, his power forward, then to Felder. Rockhill gets it short corner to Cole Sampson, tries to do a move, cuts in, gives it, hands off to Felder, who loses his dribble. Good defense by Dixie. Felder's going to pull up, shoot another 3, misses it short, rebounded again by Cox. He's already got 3 defensive rebounds. Finlinson to Bennett. Nice little look inside to DeHart. He's blocked from behind, no foul on Felder, and here comes Eaton. Tries to pass it over to Cole Sampson, gets it to Haas, little floater short, and try to rebound it was DeHart, but it'll go off the Flyers Mustangs ball.
It looked like DeHart was going to have all sorts of open room on that last play. Caught the ball in space, was going up what appeared to be a slam, and just coming from behind was Brock Felder. Great defensive effort.
2-0, Dixie with the lead. Nice look inside. Cole Sampson to Felder for 2.
There it is. Felder gives you the ability as Dixie pushes.
Forsey misses the 3 on the transition attempt, and here comes Trey Rockhill. Gets a screen from Felder, looks to pull up, instead throws it down to Felder, going up against Cox, muscles his way in, misses the layup, rebounded by Forsey, and they're going to get Felder on a reach-in.
That's one that Brock Felder wants back. He was able to use his body in the proper way to create space, lowered his shoulder, not enough to be an offensive foul, but just to get enough room, and just went up and simply a little too strong.
2-2, 5:41 on the Nets on fire clock. Here's Forsey, hands it off to Ethan Bennett. Forsey back to Bennett on the elbow. He'll look to dribble, drive, spin, double spin, and then reach in foul be called on Rockhill. Bennett, one of the best spinners in the region.
And Ethan Bennett, enough cannot be said about how he's been able to score to the basketball this year. You look at his average, he's increased game by game. He's up right around 15 points a game.
Ball goes over the top to Finlinson, who does a nice little move, but he's blocked by Sampson. They're going to say he got some arm on the block. Sampson doesn't like it. Coach Winters doesn't like it.
And for a minute, it did appear like they were going to let it go. That ball had come back to the ground before the official decided to put up the fist. Get a good look at it here, courtesy of CEC TV.
I think it's a good call. I think he got him on the elbow.
It does look like it.
And he misses the front end. Ball, don't lie, but maybe it does.
But maybe it does.
2-2 in the first quarter. Finlinson drills the second free throw from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Fuel it up, wash it down, and save at 2 Fabulous Freddy's locations here in southern Utah. Hudson Haas running the offense against the aggressive zone of the Flyers. Here's Rockhill. trying to find a seam to get it to Felder. Lobs it up over the top. Felder goes up. He'll be fouled. And they're going to communicate here, the referees, to figure out who it's on. And Felder will go to the free throw line.
They're going to call out on Carson Forsey with the foul. And Bennett came over, tried to draw a charge. He was a little too far underneath the basket, but it was just Forsey who got pinned on the exterior. Good lob pass inside. Now Felder's got free throws.
Clear that they think that they have an advantage tonight with Felder down low as they're trying to lob it into him as much as possible.
At least half of the offense has gone through Brock Felder first as the second free throw is in and out. Dixie looking to push.
Finlinson had Cox, but decided not to go. Beautiful backdoor cut by Ethan Bennett for an easy deuce off the window.
We talked pre-game. Dixie's so good at that backdoor cut.
On the other end, Sampson misses a layup. Ball tipped away by Felder. Tries to save it, but can't. Hits the blue, and it'll go to the Flyers.
And now 5-3 lead in favor of the home team Flyers.
4:45 on your Nets on Fire clock. Here's Finlinson. Goes high post to Cox. Nice little backdoor pass again. They're killing Crimson on those looks. Great look from Cox.
Dixie may not have the big man to go inside to. Scoring as Carson Forsey gets a steal.
And he goes in for the layup. 9-3, just like that. And Coach Winters wants a Scott Gibson team at Intercap lending timeout. And pretty explosive run there by the Flyers. And we'll take a 30-second break. 30-second timeout. Back with more after this.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Welcome back. You're listening and watching the game of the night in Region 9, brought to you by Sullivan Homes. You only build your dream home once. That's why you need it done just right. Visit sullivan-homes.com today. Flyers lead 9-3. Here's Felder and the Mustangs. Kicks it out to Hudson Haas. Misses another three on the baseline. Rebounded by Isaac Finlinson. Beautiful look-ahead pass once again to Cox, and he's going to roll one in for two.
And you look at Dixie, they don't have a big man who can necessarily go to work in the post, so how do they get their points in the paint? Off-ball cuts, running the fast break. Perfect examples right there as we get a foul on Jeffrey Cox on the baseline.
Nice drive by Rockhill to get it to his big man, but as you were pointing out in the pregame, Burnsy, the fast break transition points for the Flyers have been the difference early in this one. They lead 11-3.
And they're so quick. They got two ways they play basketball, and right now they've utilized both, mostly the fast-paced tempo.
Rockhill with a little pull-up. Jay misses it to the right. Good defense by Forsey. Finlinson with the rebound. Bennett to Forsey. He'll drive baseline. Kicks it back out to Cox. Back to Finlinson. And success enough by Crimson Cliffs to avoid giving up another fast break layup and make Dixie set up their offense. Forsey, top of the key, guarded by Sampson. Gets it to Finlinson. DeHart. Back to Forsey.
Yeah, here's where Dixie really slows it down until they get the right look, like this one.
Nice feed inside to Finlinson. Wanted a reach call. Instead, he'll steal it from Hudson Haas. Goes up for the layup. Misses it. DeHart gets the rebound. Goes up against Haas, and they'll insist on scoring on that possession, and they do.
How about DeHart getting turned around to come back and get that rebound, as he's actually going to pick up his first foul of the night as Sampson caught it inside. But you really like the big man going to work. Finlinson with the steal off his own miss, and DeHart could imagine that Isaac's got this covered, but instead he ends up coming back, getting the rebound, and going to work on the block.
Talked about that tough defense of the Dixie Flyers, and it's being showcased here tonight early in this one. Another turnover by Crimson. Forsey knocks it off his foot, going in for a layup. Good defensive play there by Cole Sampson to poke it away.
And right now, this #1 defense in Region 9 play has the Mustangs a little scattered. Remember, this is a team averaging 73 points a game. They sit at 3 with 2 minutes 55 seconds on our Nets on Fire clock. Either if they're not forcing a tough shot, a contested jumper, right now they're turning the basketball over.
Bronson Barbin and Colson Madruga enter the game for the first time for the Dixie Flyers. Trey Rockhill's going to drill a little elbow jumper. That's his comfort zone right there.
And for Rockhill to get going, that is crucial. He's got such a smooth jumper.
Bennett drives into the paint and kicks it back out. In for Bridger Jones, also in for the Mustangs, and McWillis, Phoenix McWillis, also in the game. He gets a steal, and he'll drive. Nice little pass over to Eaton. And the ball's swiped away from him, goes off his leg, and then another turnover for Crimson.
And it's just Dixie utilizing their hands. This is the team that averages nearly 10 steals per game. They've already got to be up around that 4-5 mark.
Finlinson with 2:13 on the Nets on Fire clock. Dixie leads 13-5 with the ball. Nice spin move. Ethan Bennett goes up, gets fouled. He'll go for 2. That is lightning quick, Burnsy.
We talk about it maybe once a game, how quickly Ethan Bennett can put the spin cycle on. And I'll tell you one thing. I've tried that multiple times in my own backyard. I don't know how he does it that fast.
And he'll make the first Fabulous Freddy's free throw. Save big in 2021 at Fabulous Freddy's. Fuel it up, wash it down, and save at 2 Southern Utah locations. Bennett makes a second free throw and extends the lead to 10 once again for the Flyers. Here's Sampson. Rockhill now with the ball and guarded by Forsey. They get it down to Eaton and back to Rockhill. Dixie's defense has been impenetrable so far tonight. There's Sampson goes up. He'll be fouled on the drive, and he'll get 2 shots.
If Dixie is giving up anything, if they're giving up anything right now, it's going to be the middle. So, for example, there's no Alessio DeHart on the floor. Madruga's technically and Barbin, those are your big guys. So you love the approach from Sampson, as the first one is no good from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. But that's what you need right now. Put your shoulder down and attack. Stop settling for these contested jumpers or contested threes like they've been doing. Get yourself in the ball game by getting to the rim, giving yourself easy opportunities from the stripe.
Sampson yet to have a point tonight, one of their leading scorers this year. Slow go here in the first quarter, however. He does miss the second one as well, but rebounded by Eaton. He'll kick it back out. Sampson looking for Phoenix McWillis, darts it to the elbow. Missed shot by Eaton, rebounded by Barbin.
That's Eaton's shot.
Forsey, fast break, throws it back out to Bennett, and they'll have to reset their offense. Finlinson. 10-point lead for the Flyers. Bennett drives in, spins around, looks to Madruga, and looks back to his coach for some instruction.
This is a good sign, though. Twice in a row now, Crimson has not allowed Dixie to be fast-paced, right? They've made them set up their offense, and that gives the Mustangs more of a fighting chance.
Crossover by Finlinson, gets it to Barbin. Beautiful move and dish.
I said a fighting chance, not a perfect chance. Finlinson getting into the paint and then making a beautiful, beautiful pass, as it looks like they're going to get Bennett for a reach-in foul here.
A lot of fouls here this first quarter, almost to the bonus, as Rockhill, easy call on the reach in there by Bennett. The fiery Ethan Bennett, one of the most, fiery players in the region, right?
Yeah, I like that description.
Thank you.
It's a good one.
Okay, here's Bridger Jones going to inbound it. Appreciate all of our sponsors helping us bring you play-by-play tonight, including Simply Wisdom Teeth. Get all 4 Wisdom Teeth pulled for just $899. Check out the 5-star reviews at simplywisdomteeth.com. Shot up and no good by Rockhill. Rebounded by Dixie. Peterson in the game. He'll get it to Finlinson. And we'll see if they go back to their 4 corners look. He's guarded by Matthews.
A couple really good three-point shooters on the floor. Bronson Barbin, that's his bread and butter. Peterson, terrific from beyond the arc. So trying to spread the floor out. Look at how open that paint is right now.
25 seconds as Barbin drives and then throws it back out to Finlinson. 20 seconds. 17-5 Dixie with the big lead here in the first quarter. He gets it to Bennett. Bennett now guarded by Matthews. Back to Finlinson. 10 seconds now on the clock here in the first quarter. Finlinson goes between the legs. Step back. Good defense by Crimson. To Bennett. He'll float one up and good. And that's how the first quarter will end. 19-5 on your one-loss scoreboard. Flyers with the, 14-point lead through 8 minutes. Let's take a 60-second break. We'll be back with the second quarter on your Region 9 Radio Network.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Welcome back for our TV audience. If you want to know who our producer is back in the radio studio, it's the guy who was just starring in all those commercials, Martin Kelly, in the Radio Dixie studios. He was also the guy in the silhouette, white silhouette, dancing in that commercial. We're proud to have him back in the studio producing tonight's action. It's 19-5, Flyers with the big-time lead over Crimson. What does Crimson have to do, Burnsy? Nothing's working.
I think we saw the right approach. Now, against this Dixie defense, there's no easy answer, but when Cole Sampson decided to put the ball on the floor and attack, he was awarded 2 free throws, missed them both. Unfortunately, you'll have to start making those, but the reality of it is that's what you have to do. Dixie's not going to give up anything on the perimeter. We know the Mustangs can shoot the 3 ball. Sampson, Haas, Rockhill, they're also capable of knocking it down from beyond the arc, so Dixie's basically saying you can either shoot a contested 3 or you can try to drive inside. So right now, Crimson Cliffs needs to really attack the basket. It's not a foolproof plan, but it's the best plan you got right now with how Dixie's attacking defensively.
Dixie 6 players with points. Crimson Cliffs only 2 players with points. Points leaders. Ethan Bennett has 6. Isaac Finlinson has 5 for the Flyers. Brock Felder has a bucket and a free throw to lead Crimson Cliffs. They've only got 5 total points, obviously, through 1 quarter as the floor crew cleans off some sweat there on the sideline. We're getting ready to go here in the second quarter of our Sullivan Homes game of the night. You only build your dream home one time. That's why you need it done just right from our friends at Sullivan Homes. Check them out at sullivan-homes.com.
14-point lead right now for Dixie. It's not an official statistic, but rarely do teams win when they're down double digits at the end of the first here in Region 9. If anyone can come back from it, it's Crimson Cliffs.
And we've got a 3-second call. Or no, we got an offensive foul, away from the ball. And it'll go against
Barbin.
Bronson Barbin, his first foul of the game, turns it over to Crimson. Rockhill runs the offense against Ethan Bennett. High post to Travis Matthews. He takes a dribble, feeds it inside to Eaton, goes right in to Barbin. Left hand off the window, good.
And the first points for Jordan Eaton. He had a mid-range jumper earlier. That time, he just decides to be physical and outwork his defender. Great finish inside.
19-7. Barbin comes up to screen for Finlinson, who takes a dribble. Hesitates, goes baseline. Nice defense by Matthews, rebounded by McWillis to Matthews. He's going to go full bore in the middle, kicks it back out to Bridger, and then back out to McWillis. Now Rockhill going up. Here's Travis Matthews with a handoff from McWillis. He'll drive, goes up, clutches it off the glass. 2 points good.
You like the attack from Matthews. We said it earlier on. He's coming off a 4-point game as Barbin finishes on the other end. The Flyers pushing the pace. Just when the Mustangs crawl back a little bit, Dixie turns on the turbos.
How about Bronson Barbin? He stars in the JV game and now starring in the varsity game as McWillis tries to get it down low to Eaton. Back to Matthews. Had an open look instead. Passes it over to Jones. Back to Matthews. He'll drive, split 2 defenders, goes up off the glass again, misses it, rebounded by Peterson. Here come the Flyers. Bennett dribbles middle. Nice underpass to Finlinson. He wanted a foul. Rockhill gets the pass, gets it down to Eaton. Great hustle by Bennett, diving for the steal. Couldn't get it. Shot missed, and here comes Peterson. Breakneck speed here at the hangar. 21-9 Flyers lead. Ball goes up high to Finlinson. They take a breath. Give it to Cox and over to Barbin.
You can feel the energy shift here in the second. Mustangs playing with a little bit of desperation. Both teams right now a little overly paced. Slowing it down right here like Dixie is could do him some good.
Bennett gets it to Peterson. Over to Barbin, who goes up against Rockhill. He's blocked. Rebounded by Bennett. Back to Barbin. He'll go up again and get fouled this time by McWillis. Nice persistence there by Barbin.
By Barbin and Ethan Bennett, who ended up with the offensive rebound, and then it won't count in his assist as he's shooting free throws, but had the recognition to find Barbin back inside, who went up strong with it.
Barbin gets his first trip to the fabulous Freddy's free throw line, a pure shooter, and he makes the first free throw.
Barbin's coming off a really good game as well, where he poured in 9 points, 2 of those being triples in their win.
And he makes both of them. He's got 6 points, tied for the lead for the Flyers with Ethan Bennett. And he'll get a rest.
You like the Flyers' approach, though. They're coming off another very emotional game against Cedar, their last time out on the floor, a 5-point win, and they've come out very composed.
Eaton to Sampson, who's yet to get going tonight. Same with Hudson Hawes. He'll drive baseline, goes up against Finlinson. Great defense, poked away, and here come the Flyers. Underneath pass to Forsey. Baseline three, good.
Carson Forsey, that is his 16th three on the year. As we have a timeout, the lead has now been extended to 17 points for the Flyers.
26-9 on your Nets on Fire clock. 30-second timeout. Back with more after this.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Welcome back. Crimson Cliffs with the ball down by a lot. You're watching on CEC TV, listening on Sports Radio ESPN 977 FM. And here comes the Flyers after a miss. Ball goes up high to Finlinson. He misses the oop, but D. Hart's there for the offensive rebound and bucket. Rockhill's going to drive, dribbles it off of, they're going to say it's off Forsey. And the Mustangs will keep it 28-9, Flyers lead.
I'll tell you what, that ball careened out of bounds and ended up hitting a student who was standing cheering right in the groin area. Took him down. He's got a crowd of people around him now. I think he'll be okay.
Wow, he's back on his feet, resuming his duties on that. You know, the front lines of a student section, that is earned. You earn that spot, and he earned it right there. As the pass goes inside for an easy bucket to Brighton Terry, his first points of the game.
His first action of the game, and immediately they get him going.
Ball goes inside to Cox, who wheels and deals it off the glass for two.
And Jeffrey Cox, he can score from multiple different spots, but he's an underrated player down on that block.
Sampson, crossover, spin, nowhere to go. Gets it to Terry, drives baseline, throws it across the court to Haas, who drives middle, and then gets it to Rockhill. Rockhill spins out and then gets it to Sampson inside to Eaton. Great defense by the Flyers in the zone tonight. Eaton, free throw, up, misses it long, rebounded by DeHart. Ball knocked away by Sampson. It'll remain Flyer ball.
You're okay with that look for Crimson Cliffs. I know currently the deficit seems rather large, but normally 9 out of 10 times if Jordan Eaton's going to take a shot, it's from that mid-range jumper. It's what he practices in warm-ups. It's what he takes a good majority in games. That's a good look for the Mustangs.
Bennett to Finlinson. 2-3 zone look by Crimson Cliffs. And Dixie's going to spread it out and relax here for a second. Forsey spins it over to his buddy. Back to Forsey. wearing that left arm sleeve. Guarded by Haas. High post. Beautiful look down low. How many easy buckets like that are they going to get? Great passes tonight down to the block, Russell.
Quite a few. When Brock Felder's been off the floor, DeHart has eaten. He's got 2 cleanup opportunities as Haas gets a look at 3.
Haas drills a Team D auto three-point shot, and another fast break look to Finlayson. Well defended by Crimson Cliffs. Here's Sampson. Looks underneath to Terry, and they're going to call something, and it's going to stay with Crimson Cliffs. I think they might say a kickball. What happened? I didn't see it.
Not entirely sure. All we know is it will stay with the Mustangs.
Terry to Sampson. He'll get a screen from Eaton. Goes hard right into Cox. Kicks it back out to Matthews. Haas wants the ball, but Sampson will launch. Misses it long. Rebounded by Haas. He'll miss a layup. He'll get it back and dribble it back out. Great moment there on the floor as DeHart.
Yeah,
Terry drives and will get a blocking call against DeHart. What happened there, Burns?
Well, I'll tell you,
it's a cute
we
moment.
saw a lot of sportsmanship there. Brighton Terry had been knocked to the floor right here. Well, this is the block foul that we're going to see on DeHart as Terry gets 2 free throw opportunities. He'd been knocked to the floor. DeHart went to help him up, realized the play was still going on, pulled his hand away at the last moment, leaving Terry on the floor. Regardless, though, he's going to sink the first free throw. He'll take the points rather than the help up.
That was tremendous. 32-15 now. Dixie with the lead on your one-loss scoreboard. 2:51 left in the first half. Terry makes both Fabulous Freddy's free throws. 32-16, Finlayson.
We got a Hearst Ace Hardware Region 9 update, AT. Into the first, Desert Hills 14, Pineview 13. As DeHart is just taking over. 8 points, an opportunity to make it 9 for the big man. He only puts up about 5 a game, but any offensive contribution, you will 100% take it. He's a shot blocker, he's a rebounder, but tonight, with Felder's off the floor, he's been a scorer.
And Dixie is just throwing it high, down low, and getting easy layup after easy layup. I know Felder's been on the bench for a lot of this second quarter, but DeHart will roll in the Fabulous Freddy's free throw. Old-fashioned three-point play, 35-16 for the Flyers. Here's Sampson. Gets a screen from Terry. Drives left, goes up off the glass, misses another layup. And Finlayson will push. Nice bullet pass to Cox for another easy layup. Unbelievable. Coach Winters wanted a hook call. And here comes Haas. Haas gets it to Matthews. Back out to Cole Sampson. Misses a long three. And they're cold tonight, Burns.
They are cold, and it doesn't help that the defense has been unable to get back as there's a full pass over and a steal by Sampson.
Sampson gets it to Travis Matthews, who's got an open lane to the hoop. Left-hander up and good.
Matthews attacks, finishes with the left hand over DeHart. And for Travis Matthews, that's going to be his 4th point.
37-18, Flyers with the lead and the ball with 1:40 left in the first half. Forsey to Finlayson. Dixie's had a lot of easy buckets as Finlayson drives middle, goes up hard, and he's fouled by Travis Matthews, and he'll go to the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Appreciate Luke Udy and Associates for helping us bring you play-by-play. Shopping for insurance isn't as fun as watching your favorite team win until you allow Luke Udy to save you a ton of money on home, auto, or life insurance. Call Luke Udy today, 251-9102.
And
he had a poster
play,
on his mind on that one.
He did. He was going up for the dunk, but Sampson, it looked like he kind of hesitated as if he would have help, and neither Matthews or Terry committed as he misses the second, makes the first, splits the pair. Crimson Cliffs now with 1:24 on the Nets on Fire clock, trying to get something going as they trail 38-18.
Haas to Rockhill. Tries to get it to Felder, but it's stolen by Barbin. 1:14 left. Forsey pulls up and spin move, another wide open lane. He'll go and get swatted by Felder.
That's what they missed with him off the floor, the ability to protect the rim. All of Dixie's points came around the rim with him on the bench.
Felder to Sampson. Trying to get it down to Felder against DeHart. He wheels, goes up, strong and good. They wanted to travel, didn't get it.
It may have been a drag of the pivot foot as Finlayson almost loses control of the ball, but still, a couple strong moves from Crimson Cliff's post players now. Felder going to work that time, utilizing his frame, able to get the finish.
38-20. Dixie with the lead in the ball. 30 seconds left. They'll probably hold for one shot. Four corners, gets it to Finlayson into the paint, goes up through contact, misses it, but DeHart's there, and he'll put it up for two.
DeHart now in double-digit scoring. He's rebounding, he's affecting shots, and he's really, really hurting the Mustangs inside. He's also going to pick up another foul. I think this might be his third.
Sampson drives, and DeHart will go out, and Madruga and Peterson will come in for the last 13 and a half seconds of the first half. Stay tuned for our Info West halftime show as Sampson makes the first free throw.
Yeah, we get a look at it here. They're actually going to whistle that foul on Finlayson, which is big.
And Sampson is pure. He's only got 2 points, both from the free throw line tonight. Forsey with 8 seconds. Crosses over again. Goes right, handoff to Bennett. Bennett gets into the paint, gets blocked. 2 seconds, 1 second. Rock Hill will launch from half court. Misses it off the high glass. And Dixie has a big lead, 18-point lead, 40-22 after one half. Burnsy, your quick thoughts after one half?
Well, you look at the scoreboard and you see the Mustangs at 22 points. On average, that's about what the Mustangs do in a quarter, let alone a half. So all hats off right now to the Dixie defense. Number one in Region 9, one of the best in the Utah 4A classification, and they're getting it done right now. They've basically told Crimson Cliffs, you're going to score in one way. We're going to take away the three-point shot. Everything's going to be contested. They have made life really, really hard on this Mustang offense. And for the Mustang defense, well, it's been a story of, can they get back quick enough? Can they really stop the Flyers from pushing the pace? And even when they're able to do so, it seems everything that goes their way ends quickly after an offensive rebound or a steal. You got to take away Dixie's second chance points, and it would be a lot closer, but DeHart's hurting them on the boards. Jeffrey Cox is hurting them on the boards. Just a lot of those small fundamental things right now that are getting in the way of Crimson Cliffs getting back in this ball game.
You're listening and watching the Sullivan Homes game of the night here at the Hangar on CEC TV and ESPN 97.7. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. 3-minute timeout brought to you by the Scott Gibson team at Intercap Lenning. We'll be back with the Info West halftime show after this.
There's a rush coming.
Let's rush best 9 plays from last week in Region 9. Number 1 better be good.
One-handed grab, and Luke Wright is going to score a touchdown on one of the better grabs you'll ever see in high school football.
Lawrence, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit there?
This is Henry Bouchard, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I never found a customer base more in need of fine American-made sucking power than I found up and down the Wasatch Front in the mid-1980s.
There's one thing coaches love, it's media guys telling them how good or bad their team is.
My pick for the 4A state championship this year when it comes to football is the Stansbury Stallions.
Give me a break. This isn't a contest about who can shovel the most corn silage. I like Pine View.
Run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Shopping sprees, sip my ties and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's
91.3. Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Calendris. You'll be on the SWAT team, the red SWAT team. That's a fantastic situation. I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
And welcome back to the InfoWest halftime show at Dixie High School. Flyers lead 40-22 after one half of play. Check out InfoWest. They're the internet people and internet pioneers here in southern Utah. They got the fastest internet speeds at Infowest.com. They got local support with people you trust, web design, Wi-Fi, residential, business, internet, and more. Check out the internet people at Infowest.com. All right, Burns, let's take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Wilkinson's, our leading scorers tonight. As, you know what, we don't want to talk about this, what's going on here. I know you heard a big roar, but we don't talk about it on these airwaves. All right, our leading scorer for the Dixie Flyers is, how about Bronson Barban with 6 points? How about D. Hart with 9 points? How about Cox with 6 points? Isaac Finlinson with 6 points, Carson Forsey with 5 points, and Ethan Bennett also with 6 points. Pretty well-rounded stat line, as we are often want to see with the Flyers.
Oh, that was a Camping World key to the game, right? Share the basketball and continue to do what you've been doing throughout the year. Dixie is a team that notoriously is great at sharing the wealth, and we see it perfectly in the halftime box score right now. DeHart with 9, Barban with 6. It's just been a well-balanced attack. They've been getting it done defensively, and then on the offensive end, they're just going to find whatever looks best and make it work.
Absolutely, 40-22, Dixie with the lead. Let's take a look at our Mustang stat leaders. Brock Felder with 5 points. Travis Matthews with 4 points, Brighton Terry with 4 points, Hudson Hawes with 3, and then Trey Rockhill, Cole Sampson, and Jordan Eaton all with 2 points. The terrific trio that we always talk about, Burns, he's slow going that first half, just 6 points total, right?
Yeah, no, a good chunk of the scoring has been
7 points. Sorry,
7 points, and you've had almost just as much of that from Brock Felder and Travis Matthews combined, right? It hasn't been what we've come to expect from this Mustang guard rotation. The bigs are still doing a decent job. We saw them start to kind of muscle their way down inside as of late, but for them to get back in this game, it has to be Rockhill, it has to be Hawes, it has to be Cole Sampson. As great as Felder and Eaton play, it's this guard rotation, this wing rotation that really lifts this Mustang squad in games like this. And you look at the scoreboard now and might think, well, it's going to be tough to come back from. That's absolutely the case. But if anyone can score points at a rapid pace, it's going to be this Crimson Cliff squad.
You've been listening to the InfoWest halftime show. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the second half action right here on CEC TV, ESPN 97.7, and SportsRadio977.com. 2-minute break.
Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not as they seem.
Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts so stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating, funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle, be a hero in the strife.
Lives of great men all remind us that our lives can be sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn moon, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate. Still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
And welcome back inside the hangar. We're ready to go for second half action. Time now for our Hearst Ace Hardware look around the region for some updates, Burnsy.
Yeah.
What have you seen score-wise?
So far, it's halftime out at the Thunderdome, a tight one. We talked about Desert Hills coming off 2 straight losses. Pineview coming off a win. That game's 27-22 in favor of the Thunder, and which is probably one of our only close games of the entire night. When you go down the rest of the region, Snow Canyon leads at half 30-19 over Hurricane. And we will keep you posted. And Cedar with a 57-22 lead over Canyon View in the Battle of Iron County.
Crimson Cliffs gets the ball to start the second half. A little roller in for Trey Rockhill.
Welcome sight for Trey. Only 2 points in that first half. Starts it off with a nice little jumper, gets the shooter's touch, gets the friendly roll, whatever you want to call it.
Bennett drives, goes underneath the basket, flips it outside. Finlinson, Team D3 good.
And we said Finlinson's 3 percentage is down a little this year. It doesn't mean it's bad.
Here's Sampson, hands off to Rockhill. And it's been hard all night to try to get through this zone and find gaps. Felder will hand it off to Haas, who's guarded tightly by Cox. To Rockhill. To Sampson. Gets into the paint. Nice little move. They wanted to travel. Instead, he's going to miss the layup, but Felder tips it in.
And that's the hustle from Felder. As Sampson almost gets a steal on his own, Bennett will end up controlling. But Felder's been really, really big when he's been on the floor. They need him out there as much as possible.
Finlinson, step back. Mishandles the dribble, and they will reset, look over to Coach Roberts, and they say, chill out. But a bad pass from Forsey, and there's Sampson. He'll lay it up for 2, and they're cutting into this lead. It's now 43-28 Dixie. 15-point lead here early in the third.
Good ball control from Cole Sampson off the steal. He wanted to push, but has a recognition. Just a small hesitation lets Bennett go by, and he's able to finish.
Bennett, spin move. Stops. Throws out to Cox. Couple of dribbles. Throws it over to Finlinson, who will drive baseline. Fadeaway jumper. Misses it. Rebounded by D. Hart. Puts it up. Misses it. Rebounded by Felder. And Crimson Cliffs can cut into this deficit a little bit more here. Haas. Into the middle, flips it up, finger roll, up and good.
Dixie crowd calling for a travel, but for Haas, just great recognition, freezes the big man, goes underneath and lays it in, and just like that, 13-point game.
Finlinson to Bennett. Bennett, inside-out dribble, backdoor cut, not there to Forsey. Gets it to Finlinson. 43-30, Dixie with the lead. High screen by DeHart for Finlinson, who will drive inside. Scoops it up, tries to go up, and he'll get fouled by Felder. And he's gotten down there a lot tonight, Burnsy, but they've done a good job at least fouling him and not allowing easy layups. Everybody else has got him, but not Isaac.
And Isaac is so talented at really finishing underneath that the way to go about it is to foul if you have fouls to give. Now, very competent free throw shooter as he knocks down the first Fabulous Freddy's attempt, but it's much better than the easy lay-in he normally gets. Both are good for Isaac. Back to a 15-point ball game.
Haas gets the inbound. Play-by-play tonight brought to you by Luke Udy and Associates. Save big with Luke Udy on your home, auto, and more. Luke Udy and Associates. Bennett, fast break, goes off the backboard to Finlayson, misses it, rebounded by Sampson. Lob pass up to Rockhill. Rockhill misses it. Eaton gets it, puts it up for two and good. Coach Roberts wasn't happy about that razzle-dazzle off the backboard.
That's maybe we're a little old-fashioned, and maybe Coach Roberts is a little old-fashioned, but you'd much rather take the 2 points instead of the flash attempt. And on the other end, you get Crimson Cliff scoring in a swing.
Finlayson gets it poked away by Haas. Haas going up, gets hit on the back. Good job to stop in his tracks and allow Finlayson's momentum to hit him from behind, and he'll go to the free throw line.
And when we say Haas stopped in his tracks, he halted 100%, just went absolutely stone statue mode, and Finlayson runs into the back of him. 2 free throws coming up for Hudson.
45-32. Haas can cut it to closer than it's been in a long time, and he does. 12-point game as Bronson Barbin comes in for Finlayson, who has 3 fouls early here in the second half.
Right now, the Mustang defense being a little more aggressive, certainly better than anything we saw in that first half. A couple steals for him so far. And on the offensive end, attacking the basket as the second free throw is good. It's an 11-point game here at the hangar.
45-34. Ball goes into D. Hart, who gets it to Barbin, who goes up. Nice little move in the air for 2.
That's a special finish, too. He almost acted like he wanted to lay it up on the right side of the basket. In midair, changed his mind and went to the left side. Great finish from Barbin. He's got 8 on the night.
Here's Eaton. Dribbles into DeHart. Trying to kick it back out, and he does to Haas, to Sampson. Drives in, gets it to Felder, who will try to go up. Ball gets knocked away, and it'll stay with the Mustangs.
And the Mustangs have the right idea here. They're going inside, first to Eaton, then to Felder. That's the look you want at the moment until Dixie has to focus on the painted area.
It is 150 degrees inside the arena as Rockhill gets an easy lane for 2.
Not often do you see players kind of do that little underhand scoop shot off the rim, but he did so there.
Lob pass goes into DeHart. Great job by Hudson Haas to knock it away off his knee, and it'll go to the Mustangs.
So Crimson Cliffs fighting back. They've made this a ball game, and they've done so quickly. At halftime, they only had 22 points. We're barely halfway into the third. They're already at 36.
Sampson gets it to Felder. Good defense by Cox. He gets screened. Ball goes to Eaton. Skip pass to Haas. Back to Sampson. He'll stutter step one way, goes the other, gets it to Felder down in the paint. He'll go up high over to Hart. He drills it.
Big shot from Brock Felder. He cuts it to single digits, and for him, that was a solid contest from DeHart. Still had the confidence to rise and knock it down.
Backdoor cut by Bennett, and a blocking foul will be called against Cole Sampson. They are so in sync, whether it's Forsey or Finlayson with Bennett. So great at cutting without the ball to the basket and getting a good pass and putting the defense in a tough position.
Hudson Haas was the primary defender there. He had no clue that Bennett was going to the rim.
Good defense by Rockhill. Bennett misses it, but DeHart gets the offensive rebound. He tears it away, then it's blocked by Felder. Out of bounds. And it'll stay with Dixie.
Here's a big man matchup. DeHart owned the first half when Felder was off the floor. When Brock's on the floor, he's not going to let anything come that easy.
Barbin hands it off. Here comes Bennett, goes middle, spins, tries to kick it out, almost stolen, but good job by Barbin to muscle it away and keep it with the Flyers. And we're going to get a reach-in foul on Hawes, and Dixie will get it side out. Appreciate Team D Auto sponsoring our three-pointers tonight. There's been a few of them. Team D won't be beat, and they're now offering consignment. Check out teamdautosales.com as Ethan Bennett goes up with a floater, and he'll be fouled in the act of shooting.
We talked about it earlier, AT, but no one can spin like Ethan Bennett can spin. I mean, that's his go-to move, and you know that. You plan for it, you prepare for it, and then when it actually happens, you end up on the opposite side of him.
He spins better than DJ Khaled.
Khaled?
I don't know.
Is that how you say it?
No.
Khalid,
No,
Khaled,
just stop.
DJ
Just stop.
Khalid?
Forget that ever happened. Let's see. Did he miss the first one?
Is he actually a DJ?
I'm not sure.
He did miss the first one off the back iron from Ethan Bennett.
47-38. And Bennett will miss the second one. Rebound goes to Felder. They can make this a 7 or 6 point game here.
You felt a lot of the momentum. The scoreboard will tell you otherwise, but right now the Mustangs playing with confidence. Defensively, it's leading to confidence offensively.
Ball goes inside to Felder, and they're going to say stepped out of bounds, and Coach Winters can't believe there wasn't a foul call on DeHart. I kind of am surprised, too. I thought he got his hands in there, Burns.
He had his hands in there going for the basketball. The referee must not have seen enough contact, and DeHart's physicality ended up making Felder step right on that blue line, right where the script Flyers is.
Forsey over to Barbin. Thought about a three, but held up. Back to Forsey. Step back. He'll keep his dribble to Peterson. And back to Finlayson. He'll launch from the volleyball line, misses it. DeHart almost gets an offensive rebound, but Felder gets it. And then Barbin knocks it away, and he'll get called for a reach-in foul.
I know Barbin's the one who picks up the foul there, but watch the physicality between these two bigs. DeHart thinks he has it. Felder rips it away. Big move, and then they call Barbin. But watch these two. Watch Felder, watch DeHart. This has become a personal matchup.
We got a ball game. 47-38 Dixie with the lead as Sampson will launch a three, misses it short, and rebound goes to Forsey. He'll go coast to coast, goes up, misses the layup, but he'll be fouled by Sampson.
Sampson went up to contest that ball. Looked like he had both hands up. They're going to catch him on the hip for creating contact. 2 more free throws coming up for the Flyers. We talked about that being a big pregame, well, a key to the game. Dixie getting to the free throw line, and they've done that tonight. They just haven't happened to hit on all their attempts.
Forsey at the fabulous Freddy's free throw line, and he makes the first one.
We get a decent look at the foul there. There's definitely body contact that made the referee put the fist in the air.
And Forsey spins it, throws it up there, and it's good.
Anytime the Mustangs get it back, get it close, or feeling confident again, Dixie's able to put just enough separation on there, and that's probably what they want to talk about now.
Rock Hill calls a timeout, and we'll take it with them. Brought to you by Scott Gibson, team at Intercap Lending. 30-second break. Back with more action after this.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
49-38 Flyers lead here with 1:41 left on your Nets on Fire clock here in the third quarter. Mustangs with the ball. Here's Rockhill going up against Ethan Bennett. And goes inside to Eaton. Tries to get it over the top of Finlayson to Felder. Felder gets it torn at by, I think you're going to get Barbin again, Burnsy, on a tearaway.
Well, right now, notice that Alessio DeHart, he is on the bench, which makes Isaac Finlayson and Morduga your main 2 big men next to Barbin. They're probably going to try to get it to Felder as much as possible as that ball careens off of Haas's face and out of bounds.
Not sure if that ball got tipped before it got his noggin or if it just, he wasn't expecting it there, but turnover nonetheless. Here comes the Flyers with the 11-point lead. Finlayson going up against Phoenix McWillis. Hands it off to Barbin, who's been great tonight. Bennett now with the ball. Back to Finlayson, and they're going 4 corners here with a minute left. Spreading out the floor as McWillis rips it away from Finlayson. And here comes Eaton. Gets it to Haas. Back to Eaton. Eaton going to go between the legs. Show off his dribble skills. And hands it off to Trey Rockhill, who goes middle. Stops at the free throw line. Shoots a tough shot. Misses it. Rebounded by Finlayson. Ball torn away by McWillis, and it'll be a foul.
And McWillis has been really good as of late. He's only been playing for maybe a minute here in this third quarter, but he already had a steal previously. We see Finlayson get the rebound, and then McWillis coming from behind. For a minute, he did have all basketball, but his momentum carried him into the back of Finlayson.
As Madruga, my guy, comes in for the Flyers. 33 seconds left, and the ball is tipped, and so it won't be a back court penalty. 25 seconds left. Here's Ethan Bennett going up against Rockhill. Gets it to Finlayson. 20 seconds in the third quarter. Finlayson, Flyers up by 11. Crossover. Goes up into traffic. Throws it. Intercepted by Rockhill with 12 seconds. Here's the Mustangs. Rockhill goes behind the back. Goes into the paint. Throws it back out to McWillis, who goes middle. Puts it up. Fancy little layup in the paint, showing off the athleticism for two.
He seemed to hang forever as the last shot of the quarter is going to go right off the left side of the backboard. Mustangs rallying a little bit. It's a 9-point game. They've cut into it here at the end of the third.
The body language and the momentum a little bit on the side of the Mustangs. Heading into the fourth quarter. We got 8 minutes left, folks. Let's take a 1-minute break. Back with the fourth after this. Welcome back to the hangar. 49-40, Flyers with the lead and the ball to begin the fourth. Bennett to Peterson. Had an open look, didn't take it. Gets it back to Bennett. He's guarded by Rockhill. And he drives, turns around, loses a couple defenders, goes back and floats it up for two.
I know Bennett ended up making that shot. Great little floater from Ethan, but the Mustangs not allowing Dixie to back it out. They're being aggressive defensively, and the attack from Rockhill won't go. Felder the rebound, and it's going to end up in the hands of Isaac.
51-40. Flyers with an 11-point lead now. Kicks it over to Forsey. Wide open three from the corner. Misses it just a little bit short. Ball fought over, finally wrangled there by Hudson Hawes. Here's the Mustangs. Hawes to Rockhill. Inside to Felder. Going up against Madruga. Spin move, goes up, misses the baby hook, but will go to the fabulous Freddy's free throw line.
And with the heart off the floor, we figure Brock Felder will become that much more essential to the offense. That time they get it inside and let him go to work against Madruga. But I really like, in an 11-point game, as the first free throw is good, we know that Dixie likes to back things out, slow it down, and the Mustang defense has not allowed them to do that. They've said, you can beat me and try to get into the rim, but we're not going to let you sit here and dribble it.
Yeah.
And in a 10-point game, that's a big deal, as the second is no good. It remains a 10-point game.
Here comes Finlayson, guarded once again by McWillis for 3/4 of the court. Finlayson driving, going up high, and he'll be fouled, and one huge finish. As he hit the deck hard, comes up squinting and holding his head. May have gotten knocked a little bit there on the forehead, but big finish for Isaac, his biggest play of the game.
Double-edged sword for the Mustangs. You're aggressive. You don't let them back it out, slow it down. But at the same time, that means you're letting them get past you and go to the paint. And with a guy like Isaac Finlayson, that's dangerous. Great finish, absorbs the contact, and the and-one opportunity upcoming for number 4.
And he'll make the fabulous Freddy's free throw, and he did get hit on the head a little bit by McWillis. Fights through it. Now up 13 are the Flyers. 6:44 left in the fourth quarter. Mustangs with the ball. Here's Sampson, hands it off to Travis Matthews. They got to get busy here. Rockhill to Eaton. Inside to Felder, who will be fouled before he received the ball by DeHart. And it will be the 5th team foul on the Flyers.
That's going to be DeHart's 3rd.
Ball goes inside to Sampson. Beautiful look from Rockhill on the inbounds for an easy bucket.
They had DeHart facing the other direction, looking at the oncoming players, and that allowed them to sneak that bounce pass in to Sampson, who finished.
54-43, Jeff Cox gets it to Finlayson, who's pressured by Sampson. Forces him to drive, but he'll get a blocking foul on Sampson before he gets to the basket.
It is such a hard position to be in right now for Crimson. Do you put the pressure on and let them get into the paint, or do you stand back and kind of let them whittle the clock away, as Dixie's so good at doing?
It's tough.
It is
Finlayson's
tough.
such a good finisher, so good at getting so strong. It's rare that you're going to knock the ball away from him when he drives, and he's also a great free throw shooter.
Yeah, hits
so
the
it is a
first.
catch-22.
And then an opportunity to make it 2 now after knocking down the front end.
And he does it. Fuel it up, wash it down, and save it. 2 Fabulous Freddy's locations here in southern Utah. Hawes. 56-43, Flyers lead the Mustangs. Mustangs with the ball. Rockhill. To Felder. Ball tipped away, but picked back up by Hawes. Gets it to Felder. Hands it back off to Hawes. Step back. And Felder going to shoot a long jump. About an 8-foot jumper, but misses it. That's usually one of his better shots. Forsey now on the other end gets blocked. DeHart gets blocked by Felder, and here comes Rockhill. Rockhill to Eaton, who will shoot a 15-footer good.
Great confidence from Eaton. He hasn't been, he's 0-2 on his mid-range jumpers. That time he gets the baseline J opportunity. Still willing to pull with his team down. Draws him a little closer.
56-45. Full timeout. We'll take a 60 back with the rest of the fourth after this on your Region 9 Radio Network.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
0.52 kilograms.
This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Artemisia is all the same pressure, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Come down. Turn, please. Ready? Sodium carbonate.
56-45, Flyers with the lead and the ball here with 5:34 left on the Nets on Fire clock in the fourth quarter. Dixie Jetettes have defended their state championship up north tonight. They'll come back with another trophy with Coach P. Congratulations to them as Bennett drives, gets it to DeHart, who spins it up and in to extend the lead for the Flyers.
DeHart may not have all the skill moves from the post as Rockhill pulls on a 3, won't go. Eden the rebound.
Hawes will launch, misses it short, rebounded by the Flyers.
I was going to say he does have a soft touch though.
And a beautiful pass from the left wing, Forsey to Finlayson, alley-oop layup good.
Right now starting to get away, 15-point game again as Matthews travels. Bennett forces him to pick up that pivot foot as he tried to get inside. 15-point game with 4 minutes 54. It's a tall order for any team, even a team that can score as well as the Mustangs.
60-45 now, Flyers with the lead. Mustangs putting on that full court press. And it's been a challenge for them to pressure the Flyers without giving up easy buckets or free throws. And Coach Winters is yelling at his kids to get out, put pressure on. They've got to be desperate at this point, down 15 with just 4:38 left. And a reach-in foul.
It's when desperation kicks in, if it hasn't already. I mean, you recognize that you have the ability and the personnel to close that gap, but at the same time, you don't have the time. which makes it incredibly hard, especially against a Dixie team that can hurt you in so many different ways, as Finlayson's first free throw attempt is right down the barrel.
Finlayson having a big night from the free throw line tonight. He's got 5 field goals and then a bunch of free throws. We'll tally up his final line for the Johnson Pediatrics post-game show. As a turnover from Crimson Cliffs goes to Ethan Bennett. He'll go nice little Euro step cross court to the other side of the hoop for 2.
He had McWillis on one side, Sampson on the other, split them both. They both went to the right, and he went to the left to lay it up off the rim. That was a pretty move. Definitely in contention for our play of the game.
64-45. Yeah, watch this for our TV audience, Bernsey. Splits the defenders. Beautiful. Rockhill for 3. He rolls one in, his first of the game.
Yeah, Trey's first triple. He's normally good for a handful of those a game.
And we're going to get an official timeout on the injured player. It's Bridger Jones, who got screened and landed hard on the hardwood. And he calls a dead ball with the injured player on the ground. Coach Winters wants to know why there wasn't a foul called. I'd have to see. I didn't get a good enough look at it. We'll see. It looks like Cox is set. It's kind of a blindside pick, and that's always dangerous. Cox comes over and shakes hands with Jones. Looks like he'll stay in the game.
And Jones will stay in. So the ball's stopped because of him, and he'll stay in the basketball game. If I'm not mistaken, don't you have to come out of the ball game, or is that?
Good question. I don't know. I don't know the rule on that.
I thought in the instance of an injury timeout, the player had to be substituted.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Especially, 100% when the timeout was for that player.
That's right. Felder will come in for Jones. And the Flyers will have the ball on the sideline. Frustrating night. I'm looking at Coach Winters, but started off the game bad.
Yep.
Came out at halftime, played great. Cut into the lead a little bit, but here in the fourth quarter, Flyers have been too much making free throws as handoff goes to Bennett, and the ball goes up and good, but they're going to say, nope, the foul happened on the ground, and he'll go to the line, still shoot 2, but the basket won't count.
Ethan Bennett's just a burner. There's no other way to put it. He's able to get around some of the best defenders in Region 9 and get to the hoop, as that free throw is no good. Struggled a little bit from the line tonight, though.
Nice little play. They give it to DeHart, who comes up and then hands it off to Bennett, who goes full blast at the rim. He'll make the second Fabulous Freddy's free throw, and now makes it 65-48 for the home team Flyers. Sampson gets it over to Phoenix McWillis. Hand off to Rockhill. Dribbles over to the middle of the floor. Looks for a pass down low to McWillis. Gets it to him. Almost rolls in the layup, but it rolls down and out. He'll go to the free throw line.
One of those fantastic off-ball cuts. This time it was Phoenix McWillis making it happen, but Dixie's done it multiple times tonight. Crimson Cliffs has done it multiple times tonight. Both these squads so good at moving without the basketball. First free throw is up and in for Crimson Cliffs. That's going to cut it to a 16-point lead.
McWillis gets his third point of the night from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. And he will miss the second one. And a foul will go against Sampson on an attempted rebound. And that means 2 free throws on the other end for the Flyers in the double bonus.
We've reached an interesting point in the game where Crimson Cliffs has no choice but to be extra aggressive. The only downside is anytime they do decide to do that, we're going straight to the stripe.
Sampson has fouled out of the game. Bridger Jones will re-enter for the Mustangs, and Finlayson is at the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Makes the first one. Appreciate our partners at CEC TV shooting the pictures for you tonight. first-class operation, as always, for our viewing audience, and a special treat tonight, some Dixie Flyer students helping us shoot the game. As layup missed by Crimson Cliffs, pass ahead to Jeff Cox, dribbles it off himself, and it'll go to the Mustangs.
A lot of credit on that last possession for Crimson Cliffs goes to Alessio DeHart. He really bothered that shot that Haas put up. Didn't really give it much of a chance to go down.
Haas drives, gets it to Felder, who's fouled by DeHart. And Felder will go to the free throw line. He hasn't had a lot of open space like that to get up and do what he does best, which is throw it down.
He's been very forced tonight to get his points through, whether it be jump shots, which we've seen him knock those down, or just putting his shoulder into someone and being physical. Knocks the first free throw down, but it's a good foul from DeHart because Felder's more than capable of throwing that down. Had a massive dunk in their win against Snow Canyon, and he's going to knock down both free throws there.
Dixie did a tremendous job defensively against the big fella. That may have been the one spot on the floor tonight where Crimson Cliffs had the advantage. Felder had a good game, but you know, we've seen him shoot the ball a lot more, make a bunch of jump shots like he did against Desert Hills, get open lanes and throw it down. But with Dixie's zone, they just did a good job spying him a little bit down in the paint, and nothing came easy for him tonight.
Did a massive job, and you're right. We talk about the comparison between the two bigs, DeHart and Felder, and we look at DeHart as somebody who's more of a shot blocker and rebounder, and a really good one at that. But we figured Felder had the offensive advantage, and tonight DeHart's matched him point by point. I mean, both have been scoring the basketball, both have been getting block shots. It's been one of the funnest matchups to see in a game that's been a little lopsided in favor of the Flyers.
67-51. Stay tuned for our Johnson Pediatrics post-game show. We'll name our Dad's Trucking Player of the Night, as well as our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. Brought to you by the boys that sell GE at AWP.
Well, if you're the Mustangs now, it's almost to that point where you got to try to work on what you're going to have going into next game. Crimson Cliffs in particular will host Canyon View. You're not out of the region competition yet. You need to finish this one strong.
Ball tipped away for a minute there by Haas, and then Bennett goes to the ground, and then Haas fouls. And Coach Winters talking with the ref a little bit. 67-51.
That was tough, too, because Bennett did lose control of the basketball, was down on one knee. If Haas even would have backed up, you still could have ended up probably with the full count, ended up making a turnover, but instead the foul sends Bennett to the line, and he hits the first.
Second free throw up and good for Ethan Bennett, who's made 5 out of 7 from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Forsey with the steal. He's going to go all the way, misses the layup, rebounded by Bennett, then rebounded by Finlayson, blocked by Felder. And Rockhill goes behind the back. He's got to pull up here. No. And they're going to get a reach-in foul from Forsey.
I think he wanted to. That caused him to lose the basketball,
and the Flyers fans not happy with whatever happened there.
Well, Rock Hill lost it. Looked for a minute like it was a carry.
Yeah.
And instead they ended up whistling a foul on Carson Forsey. We get a good look at it here, thanks to CEC TV. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure. From this angle, it's a little tough to tell. He had his back to us. Second free throw is good.
Finlayson, look ahead to Cox, who misses a layup. All the starters pretty much still in the game for both teams. Haas to Matthews, one of the few guys from the bench, puts it up and misses it.
Matthews has been in attack mode all night long. Anytime he's touched it, the points he has have come from him attacking the rim, and right there does the same exact thing. Not content to sit out on the perimeter. Swings that basketball around, attacks, and draws the foul.
You look at these young guys, Matthews, Eaton, Felder. This team's going to be good for a while.
They will be. They absolutely will be. And you know, as great as the future seems for Crimson Cliffs, it's remarkable that they have a team this year too that feels like a state championship contenders. The second one's no good. He split them.
Ball goes ahead to Ethan Bennett, who pulls it up. And here we go, 69-53 Flyers lead, and they're going to pass it around, play keep away here, or at least try to for the last 2:20. Forsey throws it up high to Finlinson, who's guarded by Rockhill.
We do got a final AT. Snow Canyon 59, Hurricane 42. Warriors will advance to 7-4 in region play, 14-5 on the year.
Reach in against Forsey. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Carson Forsey is a great free throw shooter. Dixie's really been solid from the free throw line tonight. One of our Camping World keys to the game was to get to the line, and they did that even before we entered the double bonus here.
Forsey's 100% from the line. 3 for 3 here in the second half. Misses Jinx. Son of a gun, announcer Jinx. I hate doing that to a kid who's having a good game. But the Cosmos wanted him to miss that one. Here's Rockhill going up against Forsey. Goes between the legs and throws it into Felder. Little scoop shot. Misses it.
Good positioning from Cox as Crimson Cliffs is going to get a steal on the other end.
Bridger Jones going to throw it away, and it might just be time to end the game. Just blow it dead after 7 turnovers in a row.
We got to get a couple more fouls in here. A couple more free throw opportunities for these boys.
Finlinson guarded by Haas.
Maybe not.
And he'll dribble. And now Forsey will kick it out. And Finlinson will go in and get hacked. And he'll get a couple more fabulous Freddy's free throws. Stay tuned for the Johnson Pediatric postgame show. And then Region 9 Live wrap-up show after that.
We're going to see some bench guys starting to check in now for Dixie. And then for Crimson Cliffs, Phoenix McWillis off the bench. In for Hudson Haas, who is officially fouled out. He'll join Cole Sampson on the Mustang bench. 2 Crimson Cliffs starters to have 5 fouls here tonight.
In comes for the first time. Want to credit these players who are coming in the game here for the Dixie Flyers for the first time tonight. The big fella.
Ryan Jamison, number 15, in the game, as well as Rushton Dye is in the game as well.
Finlinson misses his first free throw.
Colson Madruga, who's got run, he's out on the floor for the Flyers, and then, of course, Nick Peterson. And Finlinson will be set to check out if he hits this free throw.
And in for Finlinson is number 23.
Risco Brooks.
And we got a timeout on the floor. And we'll see if it's a full or a third. It's a full. We'll take it. 60-second break. We'll be back with the rest of the fourth quarter after this on your Region 9 Radio Network.
Get our curve here. And there's the final. Does this one have more water?
There is a place where the desert comes alive, where rain breaks forth from solid stone and gardens spring from blistered rock. There is a place with enough color to make a rainbow jealous, where boulders are bigger than buildings and cliffs are higher than clouds. There is a place that will straighten your step, tighten your grip, widen your eyes, and open your jaw. There is a place.
71-53 Flyers with the lead here late in the fourth quarter. Phoenix McWillis for the Mustang goes up, and the refs are going to blow the whistle. Bunch of new guys in for the Mustangs as well. Houston Johnson, number 33, as well as number 20 for Crimson Cliffs.
That is going to be Jackson McCone,
the big fella. And then
saw Jackson knocking down the 3 ball in the JV game.
Oh, he was tremendous.
He's a really good set shooter.
He was tremendous. Jaden Jensen also in at guard for the Mustangs. McWillis misses short, rebounded by Madruga. And here comes Brooks. 71-53 Flyers with the lead, and we'll see if they, Madruga's going to say, I'm going for it. Goes for the dunk, gets blocked by Phoenix McWillis. And here's Houston, gets it to McWillis, and they're going to get a foul call.
44.5 seconds remain on the Nets on Fire clock. Looking at the one-loss scoreboard, it is a 71-53 Mustang lead, Flyer lead. It's really been Dixie's game from the get-go. If you just happen to be tuning in, Dixie's pretty much dominated from start to finish. There was a time where the Mustangs got within 8, got within 9, and Dixie would just decide to turn on the turbo boost after that.
McWillis misses long on his first attempt and makes his second one. And here comes Brooks being hassled, lobs it up. Kick out to Peterson, who will launch a 3 and make it.
Nick Peterson is a very, very talented three-point shooter. Anytime he has the ability to set those feet, there's a good chance it's going to go down. That is his 11th triple of the year in limited minutes.
And here comes the shot from the Mustangs. Misses the 3, rebounded by Terry, knocked away, 13 seconds left. Madruga to Brooks. They've got to cross the timeline, and the game's over. 74-54, Flyers get the win over the top-seeded Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Flyers stay #1 in Region 9. We'll take a 1-minute break. We'll be back with the Johnson Pediatric Postgame Show. We'll have some highlights. We'll have some stats. We'll have some analysis. And then we'll send our TV team home after a great game here at Dixie High School. 1-minute break. Back with the Johnson Pediatrics Postgame Show after this.
There's a rush coming.
Let's rush best 9 plays from last week in Region 9. #1 better be good.
One-handed grab, and Luke Wright is going to score a touchdown on one of the better grabs you'll ever see in high school football.
Lawrence, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit there?
This is Henry Bouchard, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I never found a customer base more in need of fine American-made sucking power than I found up and down the Wasatch Front in the mid-1980s.
There's one thing coaches love, it's media guys telling them how good or bad their team is.
My pick for the 4A state championship this year when it comes to football is the Stansbury Stallions.
Give me a break. This isn't a contest about who can shovel the most corn silage. I like Pine View.
Welcome inside the Johnson Pediatrics post-game show. 20-point win here at home for the Dixie Flyers. How about the defending champs at home, defending home court against Crimson Cliffs, celebrating in style here with some Dixieland Delight music. And what a game, Burns. How about them Flyers?
Well, how about the Flyers? Any time that we put Dixie in a position where they might be questioned or where they might be challenged, they seemingly rise to the occasion, right? Desert Hills was the hot upstart team coming in against a Flyers squad who had just lost to Snow Canyon. They ended up wiping the floor with them. Tonight, Crimson Cliffs comes in 1 game behind them in the standings, feeling good about themselves, 16-2 on the year, and Dixie takes care of business. We've had the same story multiple times this year, and we always act like we don't know the ending. So far, Dixie continually showing why they belong near the top of the region. And for RPI's sake, this is a very, very big game for the Flyers.
Absolutely. Here are your Wilkinson stats after the game. Your stat leaders for Dixie, Isaac Finlinson. These are unofficial stats. 20 points for number 4 for the Flyers. He had 1 3-pointer made. He had 7, 8, 9 free throws for a total of 20 points. Ethan Bennett had 11. Alessio DeHart had 11. What a great first half by DeHart.
Yeah, and he, looking at the box score, he gives you about 6 points more than his season average, which is awesome. But he also did the things that we know him to do on a weekly basis. When Dixie lost Noah Lemke, being a senior, of course, it seemed like they were going to lose that big man presence inside. They had Keem Webb coming up through the ranks. He's still incredibly young, and all of a sudden DeHart's here, and he provides an instant impact. When he's not scoring the basketball, he's blocking shots, he's getting rebounds, he's altering shots multiple times tonight. Sampson or Haas would drive in, and he would bother that shot just enough. He has a specific defensive gravity, and then when he's scoring the basketball like he did tonight, that's all the better. He has a role to play, and if he can add 11 points to that role, it makes Dixie that much more lethal.
Absolutely. That's Rustin Burnside. I'm Andy Thompson. You're listening to the Johnson Pediatrics post-game show. And how about Johnson Pediatrics making your kids feel right at home at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry? Ask for their new patient special. Appreciate Dr. Cody and his staff for helping sponsor Region 9 athletics all season long. Let's see. We've got a minute. We got 90 seconds of highlights. Let's go ahead and go to those. Brought to you by our CEC staff. Rock Hill only had a few points tonight, Burnsy. There's one of them.
He did, and that was right at the beginning of the third quarter. But here's the Flyers with the ball movement. Finlayson knocking down the Team D3, a big hit.
And then a transition bucket, one of the rare ones for Cole Sampson tonight. A nice little scoop shot there by Hudson Haas, who also had a fairly quiet night.
Did. Hudson Haas would end up fouling out. Eaton getting the rebound, pulling up and hitting. Solid hit from him. And here is DeHart with the nice pass. We haven't even talked about his passing tonight.
Yeah.
There with the assist, he hits Bronson Barbin inside.
And on the other end, there's a nice little bucket by the Mustangs. And then the SWAT team comes out. How about Felder?
Felder had a lot of big blocks tonight. He's an intimidating presence inside as well. Great athleticism as Phoenix McWillis ended up knocking that down at the end of the third, which made it a little bit closer. But here's where Dixie really started to take over.
Yeah, the pressure on the outside allows Finlayson to drive, get it an and one there, and then here's Eaton with a nice little jump shot.
Eaton is smooth, especially when it comes to that jump shot. But how about the soft touch of DeHart up and in with the little right-hand push and pushing the pace back down is Forsey with the pass from half court to Finlayson, ends up laying it up and in.
And it seemed like they had 100 fast break points tonight, Burnsies. That one, Finlayson showing off the dexterity of his feet. He can cut and do all sorts of things in between defenders, spin moves, all sorts of stuff. Dixie gets the win.
And then Nick Peterson obviously getting the look there, able to set his feet, able to knock it down. He's a very capable shooter when given time to do so with his 11-3. And that basically sums it up. The fourth quarter, Flyers really able to put the hammer down. Crimson Cliffs would get as near as 8-9 points, and then the Flyers would just continually pull away. They couldn't get all the stops they needed. Dixie now 17-2 on the year, 9-2 in region play.
Brock Felder led the Mustangs with 12 points. Trey Rockhill had 11. Hudson Haas with 7. Cole Sampson with 6. Time now for our Dats Trucking Playmaker the player of the game, brought to you by Dats Trucking. Fuel it up at Ernie's 2 Sinclair Station, top of the boulevard. Best chicken strips in the state. Love Ernie's 2 Sinclair Station. Dats Trucking has been delivering your player of the game for years and years here in Region 9 territory. Let's go to Burnsy. What do you think, buddy?
Well, I'm always one who tries to go outside the lines a little bit. If we did it by statistics alone, Finlayson and Bennett would be your Dats Trucking player of the game every single night. But tonight I think I really want to go with Alessio DeHart. We talked about how the one matchup Crimson Cliffs might have in their favor was Brock Felder up against DeHart, and that didn't end up being the case. Dixie well-rounded enough. Alessio has a really big game, pours in 11 points offensively, multiple offensive rebounds, some beautiful passes. He really impacted the game anytime he was on the floor. Maybe not in the most flashy way, maybe not in the most dominant way, but a way that's very, very Rudy Gobert-esque for the Utah Jazz fans.
Well put.
He did a great job.
All right, that is your Dash Checking Player of the Game, Alessio DeHart. Great game by the big fella here at home. Time out for our AWP Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. Check out the boys at GE who sell, or no, let me do that again. Check out the boys at AWP who sell GE.
Woo, there it
wholesale
is.
prices across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. Burnsy, there are quite a few big plays tonight.
There were quite a few big plays, but I think when we look at the AWP Playmaker Play of the Game, there was one that really stood out above all, and that was Ethan Bennett making two Mustang defenders go right past him. He had McWillis crashing in one direction. He had Sampson crashing in the other direction. And just a quick little Euro step sends both of them right on by. He finishes on the left side of the hoop with a pretty step. And I think that's got to be our playmaker play of the game. And I do believe that was the foul that Cole Sampson ended up fouling out on. So even all the better for Dixie fans and for Ethan Bennett.
He's Justin Burnside. I'm Andy Thompson. We're going to say goodnight to our TV audience and CEC TV. Thank you so much, as always, to our crew here. And appreciate the Dixie High students helping us out tonight. Great job. And we'll see you next time here on CEC TV and SportsRadio977.com. Let's take a 2-minute break. When we come back for our radio audience, we'll continue with the Region 9 wrap-up show brought to you by Ideal Home and Paint. 2-minute break. Back with more after this.